Ladies and gentlemen, please rise as the academic procession for the 6th annual winter commencement begins at Schreiner University.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the hall are the degree and certificate candidates for Schreiner University's class of 2022. Now, to provide our official university welcome, I invite our president, Dr. Charlie McCormick, to share a few remarks with you.
Thank you, Dr. Frampton, and on behalf of all the students, faculty, staff, and trustees at Schreiner University, I'm honored to welcome you to this commencement ceremony. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing our commencement speaker, Mr. Nicholas Ojeda. Nicholas, or to those who know him, Nico, graduated from Schreiner University in 2004 with his Bachelor of Arts degree in Political Science and Government. Shortly after graduating, Nico relocated to the Northeast to work as a budget analyst for the U.S. Department of Treasury for 4 years. During that time, Nico was able to attain his Master of Public Administration degree with a concentration in Finance and Financial Management Services from American University in Washington, D.C. He then moved into a financial operations analyst position within the executive office of the president under the Obama administration. And before moving into the private sector, Nico worked for Congressman Solomon Ortiz and still proudly supports several federal agencies, including the Office of Management and Budget. Nico was hired as a senior manager for project management with Battle Resource Management Incorporated, where he helped lead the United States Department of Homeland Security Business Directorate while enforcing federal law through the Federal Information Technology Acquisition Reform Act. Nico has over 10 years of managing cross-functional teams composed of IT staff, data analysts, management consultants, and project managers. Nico currently serves as REI Systems Director of IT Policy and Transparency and is also a proud partial owner of Forjais Sports Club, a 5th Division soccer team in Portugal. Nico resides in Washington, D.C. with his wife Danielle and their 2 girls. Please join me in welcoming to the podium Mr. Nico Ojeda.
Good afternoon, everyone. Let me be the first to congratulate you on one of many major life achievements to come. You have to celebrate the victories, so today we're going to celebrate. I just got back from Qatar, so in the spirit of the World Cup, I wanted to try something different. So today, when I say class of, I want you guys to chant back 22. Got it? All right, let's give it a whirl. Class of. Now, come on, you guys are graduating. Do better than that. Class of. All right. So we're gonna stay awake. So If my speech gets boring, I may do that just to wake everyone up. For those of you who spaced out during my intro, my name is Nico. Like you, I graduated from Schreiner. I majored in soccer and accumulated a minor in English. It's nice to be back on campus. I see a lot of familiar faces. Dr. Woodall, Dr. Woods, even Darlene Bannister is still here. There's also, it's a little weird because now I have some of my classmates are part of the faculty too. So you get Dr. Miller, Goodwin, Mr. Rossi. But like my bio said, I make a living selling my advice to the federal government. So Schreiner asked me to give the graduating class of. All right, we're going to try that one again. I make my living selling my advice to the government, so Schreiner asked me to give the graduating class of some advice on adulthood. Since advice is the worst vice and adulthood is the worst hood, I figured I'd just tell you guys some funny stories. Class of? All right, that also works if my jokes fail, so that's good. So it's the summer of 2009, and I find myself on the south lawn of the White House. I soon realized why they asked people to attend a barbecue in July. It's extremely hot. It's muggy. I'm in a suit. My boss and I are standing out in the sun baking. There's not a lot of people around, and I'm just trying not to pass out. When all of a sudden I realize my boss is introducing the president to the group. President Obama leans in to shake my hand. "Aren't you hot?" Without thinking, I leaned right back in and I said, "Mr. President, are you hitting on me?" He kind of laughed and then moved on, and I froze in terror. Later on, my boss asked me, "What did you tell him to make him laugh?" Be yourself. You are who you are. You only get one life to live, so live it. I moved to Peru after I graduated Schreiner, class of... No, it was 2004, but I'm glad you're paying attention. Anyways, I moved down to play soccer. I wasn't kidding when I said I majored in soccer. Anyways, I failed. But the point is I tried. I pushed the envelope. I got uncomfortable. Remember, you only get one life, so live it. Adulthood is hard, and it gets harder as you get older. Enjoy your 20s. Travel, date, be single, explore different jobs. Become a public servant, even if it's only for a few years. Take care not to get lost along the way, and remember where you came from. Don't be an ass. That's important. No one in this world is perfect. Remember that when you receive or are giving constructive feedback, and always be willing to improve. Always be willing to take one step towards someone. But more importantly, be willing to take 2 steps when that person takes the 1. If you surround yourself with people who practice this and live this rule, your life will be full of laughter, experiences, enjoyment, and it won't be boring. Trust me. The easiest way to take that first step is to volunteer. And I don't mean volunteer for the soup kitchen, although you should do that too. I mean, in your first couple of jobs, when your boss asks, "I need someone to," raise your hand. It will serve you well. Trust me. Now, don't volunteer to track the budget for the holiday party and then ask how Excel works. Remember this, Google is your best coworker. Not only will it tell you what TBM is, or help you plan your vacations, or tell you how to write a commencement speech, it will also help you fake it until you make it. I'm working hard at my desk. I can't say for sure, but definitely not watching soccer on TV because I'm at work. And my boss rushes over in a panic. "Hey, what do you know about TBM?" I'm sure I look confused because he follows up with, "You know, technology business management?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that TBM." And I'm Googling away. I go, "The framework or the taxonomy?" And he's like, "Yeah, that one, come with me." Next thing I know, I'm sitting in front of the director and I'm explaining to them as fast as I can read, as I'm Googling TBM, what it is and how it can help them. He looks at me and he says, "Good. I need you to spend the next 18 months helping OMB and the federal CIO draft a language for this policy." I spent the next few weeks with my coworker Google, learning everything I could about TBM. Class of? All right, you guys are paying attention. Network. Network without an agenda. Meet people to meet people, not because of who they are or what they do. Be genuine, be yourself. Meet everyone in your office. Set up coffees, lunches, happy hours, beers, wine, whatever it is. But be proactive in making these connections. Dr. Hudson used to tell us and preach here, connections are the most important thing. If you proactively make connections, they will be there when you need them most. Every time I was successful, it came from a previous connection. Early in your career, find a mentor. Later in your career, be a mentor. Go to conferences, symposiums, events, and meet people. Don't stand in the corner. Take coworkers and challenge each other so you can meet the most interesting person. And at the same time, don't be boring. Tell them stories of your misguided adventures as a 21-year-old living in Peru. But remember, you get one life, so live it. In closing, I want to leave you with some words from some loved ones who passed away. First, remember, a fool can teach you, even if it's what not to do. And two, te amo. Class of.